Hello, I'm Nick.
And I'm Ally.
This is But Have
that
You
was
Tried?
so formal.
I don't know. Something, it's just in the moment.
It's the cool air.
Yeah, it is. This is But Have You Tried from the David A. Howe Public Library. You got a real fall vibe ensemble going on.
I know. I'm really excited
You're
about
trying to
it.
make
The red
it
and
happen.
orange
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
I put it on and I was like, this isn't too much, right? And I went and showed it to Caleb and he was like, ooh. And I was like, all right. That's the reaction I needed.
That's good.
It's the right amount.
That's good. And if later you were going to go and teach second grade, it would still work.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
I
So
always
it's
have to be
all-
prepared for a Miss
Yeah.
Frizzle moment. You never
Yeah.
know when it could happen.
My outfit is very thematically appropriate. So hold on, let me just...
Unbutton the overshirt. Oh, very nice.
Yes, I'm wearing a Veronica Mars t-shirt, everybody, if that doesn't tip you off to...
I like that you specifically had the overshirt and buttoned over it, though, so I couldn't see
Yeah,
it
you
until
needed
this
the
moment.
reveal.
It needed to be a secret.
Yeah. Well, I'm a showman at
Yeah,
heart.
that's true.
You know what I mean? We are going to talk about Veronica Mars, but I do want to briefly talk about Batman because September 20th is Batman Day. Have you done any Batman things recently? Do you have any Batman anything knowledge? Surely you've seen Batman.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I know what Batman.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with Batman.
You okay?
Well, we did watch Batman Begins not that long ago.
Okay.
And we also watched around the same time we watched The Batman with Robert Pattinson.
Right.
Which I had seen before. And I think what happened is we watched Batman Begins with my family and everyone was like, yeah, that was fun. And then Caleb was like furious because the longer he was thinking about the movie, the more he was like, it doesn't make sense thematically.
Yeah.
And then I think he was like, well, now we have to actually watch a good Batman movie.
Yeah.
I think that's how that went down.
Okay.
So we watched both of those semi-recently.
Okay.
And I feel like the Batman did hold up from the first time that I watched it.
I
Like, I
agree.
forgot some parts, so it was kind of fun to rewatch. The part I will never forget, though, is the
Okay.
part where they're like, who's El Rata Olada? And the guy's like, it should be La. Am I the only one who knows the
Yeah,
difference between El and La? It's
Yeah.
like every time I lose it. Like, I just,
That
it's
is
so
really
funny to me.
Did you guys ever watch The Penguin or no?
No? Maybe he has, but I haven't.
Would recommend. Yeah, I do like that Batman movie, and it's got some length on it. There's no question
Yeah.
about that.
It could be shorter, I'll say that.
But I don't mind it either. I'm not like, how much longer is this
I know.
thing going to be?
No, yeah, it
So
feels like it's pretty good. It's pretty well paced for how long it is.
I don't know. The Nolan movies never really did it for me. I don't hate them or anything. Like, you know, I would watch Batman Begins and be fine with it. The darkness of The Dark Knight is a little more than I wanted. And Dark Knight Rises is fine. I feel like there's a disconnect. I never, like, it doesn't feel like we're in the real Batman world to me. It just kind of feels like its own thing. But I recently showed my son for the first time Batman, like Michael Keaton, Batman 89. He was underwhelmed by it. It's not exactly a colorful movie, and Batman it's a very different take on Batman, you know, from, I think, a more modern version, but I still love it. I still think it holds up. Michael Keaton makes some weird choices in that role, which, you know, that's just what he does. But I still enjoyed watching it, and now we got to watch. You know, we got to do Returns and Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, which those movies is like every time I watch them, my opinion flip flops. You know,
That's fair.
so we'll see where I land this time around. In the comics world, I've been enjoying a run of Batman Superman World's Finest, which is written by Mark Waid. And it's a throwback kind of thing. You know, it feels like if the Batman and Robin of the 80s were back in modern stories. I think that's kind of the premise behind it. And those are a lot of fun. And, of course, we have tons of Batman graphics in the collection here.
It's true. Can confirm.
If you've never watched the Batman animated series, not connected to the Robert Pattinson movie, that's my favorite. It was like 2006, I want to say. It was on WB. Daphne and I did a whole Batman Day episode back on How's Things about that series that you could go and listen to. So
I think it's really funny the way that they'll try and, like, designate what is what by adding words like the or adding periods.
Yeah.
And it's like, that really doesn't do it for me. You know what I mean? Like, that's
no.
not enough of a difference. Because isn't there, like, Suicide Squad and The Suicide
Yes.
Squad are different movies?
Yes.
Completely unrelated. And I
no,
think
they're
that's
not.
ridiculous.
I mean, James Gunn would love you to believe that they're unrelated, but they share characters in common. They reference each other.
Okay, semi-unrelated.
Well, only his ego makes them semi-unrelated.
Okay.
They're
Okay.
definitely connected.
But also, like, when the new Emma adaptation came out, I think in 2020, it was like Emma period.
Ah.
And I was like,
of course.
I mean, well, okay, with Emma, I get it because it's like you're not going to, like, whatever, rename it. You just have to say Emma 2020 instead of Emma 1995. Whatever.
Right, yeah.
But with stuff where it's like a character who you're using a lot, I feel like you've got to do more than just add a the or take away a the or add a period.
Or just like, Superman. We already have a movie called Superman. So,
right. We got to
I would rather.
at least a subtitle,
Yeah,
so
I
you
agree.
can tell which one it is when you're trying to
Yeah.
place a hold on it on StarCat.
Yeah. And trying to search these things like online,
I know.
trying to find things about just the Batman, the animated series, or the Batman, the movie. It's like, oh, did you mean everything?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't. I didn't. So, in conclusion, happy Batman Day to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about Veronica Mars. Now, the last time we checked in, you had not been watching Veronica Mars.
That's correct.
Even though I gave you a pretty expansive, maybe borderline too much of an assignment in trying to get you to watch the whole first season.
That's true.
You didn't have to jump on it so fast, but how far did you get?
So I watched.
Oh,
well,
boy. Oh, God.
There's a little bit of a funny story here,
We'll
actually.
see. Is it funny, haha, or funny like you didn't watch enough?
You'll see. So what happened is, speaking of things that it's difficult to tell what is what because the names are all the same.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to start watching Veronica Mars.
No.
So I'll just grab the disc.
No.
So I grabbed the
Hulu.
2019 Hulu disc that says Veronica Mars, the first season.
It does.
And I didn't know anything about Veronica Mars, so
Yeah.
I didn't, nothing cued me that it was, the wrong thing.
Sure.
Until I was in, maybe episode 4, and they were talking a lot
jeez.
about stuff that happened, in the old show, and I was like, wait a second.
Oh,
I was like, this is too much to just be a heavy backstory. There's way too much detail going
what a
on
nightmare
here.
This is.
So then I started Googling, and I was like, what is happening? So anyway, I figured it out. I got the other discs for the actual first season.
Yeah.
And I watched 6 episodes of that.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, you're 10 episodes in the world of Veronica Mars.
So I feel like all
Okay.
things considered, I
Interesting.
did pretty good, especially with mishaps.
Certainly wouldn't have recommended the Hulu reboot to you. So, I mean, it's not that I don't like it. It's just, that's a hard
I mean, I
end.
was enjoying it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, this is not what I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be watching.
Okay.
So,
All right.
but I do think it's kind of interesting to have seen a little bit of both because it's kind of cool to be like, here's the whatever.
Yeah.
Her as a scrappy teen,
Yeah.
and here's her of more an established adult.
Sure.
So that was kind of interesting.
Okay. All right. Well, I can forgive you that mistake.
Yeah.
Hit me with some facts. What did you learn about
I've
Veronica
got
Mars?
some facts. Okay, so a little background about the show for those who haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It follows Veronica Mars, a teenager who works part-time with
Or
her dad.
somebody well into
or
her
somebody well
adulthood.
into her adulthood as a private investigator. The show, the original season, begins after the murder of Veronica's best friend Lily Kane and her father's subsequent removal from the position of sheriff because there's an evidence leak.
Yes.
Which it seems like is not his fault, but he still gets kicked out and becomes
Yeah.
a PI. So that kind of stinks. And it is set in the fictional town of Neptune, California, which is a pretty great town name.
Yeah.
I like that.
I agree.
It's got some good vibes going. The show was written by Rob Thomas. It aired first on UPN and then the CW and ran for 3 seasons from 2004 to 2007.
Yeah.
Then, after it was canceled, Thomas wrote a film script to continue the series. And Warner Bros. Was like, we're not going to do that. And so Kristen Bell and Thomas were just like, we're going to fund it on Kickstarter, which I think is pretty iconic. And they got $2 million, which was their goal, in less than 11 hours.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. People were
listen,
going nuts for this.
Did
you fund this Kickstarter?
That's what this shirt is. This
Oh
shirt
my
is
gosh.
my Kickstarter reward.
Wow.
For, I got on the ground floor of that, my wife and I, and we got a T-shirt. And when the movie eventually came out, they sent us a DVD.
That's cool.
As well. So it was pretty exciting.
So is the purpose of that movie kind of to wrap things up that weren't wrapped up, or was it just a little more of Veronica Mars?
Well, so the first 2 seasons were on UPN, and they were, each one has a very, the first season's The Murder of Lily Kane, which you're talking about. And the second season also has a very tight, this is what the whole season is about. And when it switched to the CW, it was pared down from that, and they were like, you can't do season arcs anymore, it's too much. And so the third season is, she's in college, and there's 3 or 4 mini 3-episode arcs.
Okay, so
But
it's a
there's
little more
not-
than the mini mystery within the episode,
Yeah, but it
not
kind of-
quite as much as the whole season.
Yes, and it kind of changes the tone of that. And it was kind of hoped that because Veronica Mars was on UPN and Gilmore Girls was on the WB, and when they merged, they paired them together. It was like this 1-2 punch of Veronica Mars and Gilmore Girls. And
Okay.
I think the hope was that combined, but it didn't go past season 3. And they shot, they wrote and shot a little 15-minute sort of spec pilot for fast forwarding the series with Veronica being in the FBI.
Okay.
Which you can watch that as a bonus feature on season 3, but then it ultimately, like, the CW was like, we don't have any cash, we can't pick this up, forget it. And so then it was nothing for quite a while. I mean, it was almost 10 years, right?
Yeah, it's like 2007 to 2014.
And it just didn't die. It's like the DVDs were like in constant circulation, and every time Kristen Bell showed up and everything, it was like Veronica Mars, you know. And so it just became this huge thing. And so the movie was to sort of, I don't know, I felt like it was to kind of reset to the original tone and do Veronica Mars like on their own terms. And it is a very contained story, and it updates everything, and it kind of puts people in places where you wanted them to be that they weren't necessarily at the end of season 3, because season 3 in no way is a finale.
It's just like, that's the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
that makes sense. And then they did that 4th season, a.k.a. the first what the heck?
I know.
In 2019 on Hulu.
I know. I don't know why that's billed as the first season, because even on when you're streaming it or whatever, it's not like 4 seasons. It's like Veronica Mars, 3-season show. Veronica Mars, 1-season show.
Yeah, that's
which
crazy.
I'm not about.
Well, it's like I can kind of understand if it's like, oh, we're kicking off a reboot. You know what I mean? Like if you're imagining it and framing it like that.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, then you need to call it like Veronica Mars, the later years or something. You know what I mean? Like, you got to in some way signal like we're kind of turning over a new leaf.
Otherwise, unsuspecting people like you are just going to assume...
just going to be like, oh, yeah, it's just a show about an adult PI doing adult PI things.
Yeah.
I don't know. But the interesting thing about it is that it's like, in some ways, I feel like it's not totally turning over a new leaf. Like, they talk about the Lily Kane stuff quite a bit.
Yeah, they do.
And I mean, like, they're probably going to talk about it more because it was around that time that I was like, I feel like this is too much to just be sad backstory. The other thing that I'm curious about, though, is because they kind of imply in that they never did figure out who murdered Lily Kane. But in the context, I'm like, is that true? Or are they just not telling the people that they're talking to that they figured it out?
Uh-huh.
Because I'm like, it'd be a long time to go like 3 seasons, a movie, and an extra season without ever resolving that.
Well, this is one of the reasons why I tried to get you to watch the whole first season so we could talk about that. But it's okay. I forgive you, and I understand your mistake. There's 2 novels that they're written, I think, after the movie, and they're kind of set between the movie and the Hulu series. They're pretty good. I like them, and when that was the only new Veronica Mars content, you know, I was like, yes, give it to me. And the first book is read by Kristen Bell, if you listen to the audiobook, which is pretty cool.
That seems right.
Because I do believe they're in first... It's been a while since I read it, but I think they're in first person.
That seems like it would make sense for like the style.
She's already narrating the shows.
Yeah, the little like...
The Hulu season, when it came out, the movie was such good closure and everything, and, you know, then I'd read the books and everything, and when the new show came out, I didn't feel like, I must, you know, and so I didn't watch it until very recently. And that's kind of what put Veronica Mars back in my mind, because I never did, you know. And I rewatched it, and I think it was written to be a one-off thing, but there's certainly light at the end of the tunnel if you want to keep going, you know. So I didn't get to the end of that and was like, oh, another unresolved cliffhanger, but also you could kind of see where they were setting up if they want to do more. But
I also I don't want to lay down too many spoilers here, but like she's dating a person in the 2019 show, and it's like, oh yeah, whatever, clearly there's history and stuff. And then I start watching the original show, and I'm like, this guy is the biggest jerk. That's like correct. I have so many questions about how we go from this to that, you know what I mean?
That's a complex relationship, and it's interesting to watch.
Like, I could see that being developed in a really interesting way. But also, I was just like, what?
So what did you think?
I liked it. I had fun. I had a good time. It reminded me a lot of Joan of Arcadia, which is one of my favorite shows of all time. And, like, some other, I feel like, I don't know, just, like, mystery kind of shows from that area that I really enjoyed. And it had some crossover characters, like her journalism teacher is an actor who was also in Joan of Arcadia. Her dad is an actor who's in Person of Interest, which is one of my favorites. So, I don't know. That was fun. I had a good time. I think I probably will watch the rest of the first season at the very least.
Go the distance. You got to go the distance. I don't think even the third season, which is... you definitely feel that there are behind-the-scenes changes and stuff. It's not like... I think even if you didn't know that, if you started season 3, you'd be like, this is weird. Even the theme song, which... Okay. So now that you have seen the new one, I love the original theme song so much. We Used to Be Friends by the Dandy Warhols. The recut new version that they use in the new one, I absolutely hate.
That's really funny.
Did you have any feelings about the theme song?
I liked the theme song. I thought it was really fun, and I was humming it to myself a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't have any particular issue with the new one.
Yeah. Okay.
But I also watched them in the wrong order and
Sure.
don't have like years of
So in
fondness
your
for the old
mind,
one. You know what I
the
mean?
new one is the
the
old
original.
one. Yeah. I'm trying to remember how early on we started watching it. I think that we watched it on, like, I think it was like in the start of season 2, maybe, because I think we watched it all on DVD because I didn't want to jump into like the middle of the mystery. But my wife and I watched it, and then we watched it with like her sisters and her parents, like over the course of, I don't know, a couple of months, and it was really fun to do that because we knew all the twists and turns and everything, and there's some big moments, there's some, you know, surprises and reveals as there is in all mysteries. And there's just some moments that I remember so clearly where everybody was like, "Wow!" You know. So I just think it's really well structured for one as a mystery that is, you know, in the old style of 24 episodes. It doesn't really feel like, oh, this is a filler episode. It feels like you're really on point the whole time, but it's never exhausting. It's never like enough already. Like, who killed this lady? You know, you really feel like it's teased out accurately. I think her friend group is very cool, like the different dynamics within there. I always really liked Wallace. And
yeah, I really like him. He's fun.
Yeah, I think it's the right amount of like romance and intrigues and, you know, triangles and stuff like that. Like, I think that's good. And I think that, like, I don't know. It's just kind of like what we were talking about in the Wednesday episode where we were saying, like, Jenna Ortega, Wednesday, perfect casting.
Yeah.
I feel like Kristen Bell as Veronica Mars, like, I don't think there's a version that works without her.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think her look, her style, her voice, the speed that she can get those lines out, like, you know, she's like 4'3" and really like has the gravitas and feels like a tough, strong character. Like, she just, as an actress, just has something, you know, and she just really brings it to that role.
I agree. Well, and the other funny thing about this experience is that as I was watching the episodes of the 2019 version, I was saying to Caleb, like, this is fun, I'm having a good time. But I was also saying, I feel like every Kristen Bell character is kind of the same. You know what I mean? Like, is it just Kristen Bell? Is she just kind of unhinged and, you know, like, making some poor life choices? I don't know. But because, like, you know, her character in The Good Place, which obviously we've been watching and really enjoying, and, like, a little bit Nobody Wants This. It's like a similar, like, slightly, I don't know. And, like, I don't know, the kind of, like, slight sass, slight cynicism, you know what I mean? And, like, there's another movie I watched, I think it's, like, Queen Pins or something like that, where she's just, like, full on doing, like, a scam with coupons with her friend. Also kind of a similar tone. And so then I started watching the first season, and I was like, oh, this is where, like, all of the, like, Kristen Bell
like
character energy comes from. So that was kind of interesting to see.
I think, too, she pulls off really well. Because Amanda Seyfried's character, Amanda Seyfried plays Lily Kane, and it's like, it's hard to even understand why those two would have been friends. Because she's so vapid and, you know, just... And it's interesting to see Kristen Bell play the more... like Valley version of Veronica Mars in the flashbacks. Yeah. You know, and you kind of see, okay, so she was kind of like that too, and the murder of her friend just like radicalized her overnight. Yeah. You know, and she was like, okay, well, now it's on, you know, and I think that's just really cool character development.
Yeah. I don't know. It is a really interesting dynamic though, because like so much of the flashbacks and what they show feels like so opposite of everything that she's like, you know, in the current. Yeah. And so it's like, I don't know, the idea of being like, oh, this traumatic thing happened and it changed my worldview and my experience of life. Yeah. But also, like, in a way that I feel like would also have to change your perspective on who you were before and the person you were friends with and everything. Right. So I think that's kind of an interesting concept.
I think the relationship between Veronica and her dad is, like, very nuanced and something that you don't typically see on screen, I think, because it's a very close, it's a very tight relationship, and he certainly, you know, it's not like, oh, they're just best friends, you know, it's not like Gilmore Girls-y in that way. Right. You know, like, they're very close, but it's still also a very clear, like, he's the parent, she's the child, and the way they use that dynamic. And that actor, Enrico Colantoni, is just, I mean, I love him in everything I see him in, but that's another thing where it's just like the stars aligned because their chemistry is amazing.
I know. It is
and
really
it's just,
great.
I think it's some of the best writing, in TV, like maybe ever. It's just, I don't know. I don't really have a bad thing to say about it.
That's fair.
So.
I feel like the one bad thing that I have to say about it is I do feel like they over-sexualize Lily Kane, which I don't love.
Yes.
But also that's like so of its era, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like I'm not surprised. I just wish that wasn't the case.
Right. Yeah, I could see that. And it'd be interesting to see when you see where everything goes if that is reconciled a little bit more in your mind. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
that's
not.
fair.
Maybe
I don't
it's
know.
not.
We'll see.
I feel like it might be, but I would be interested to hear your take on it. Because I was also watching this in whatever it was, 2003. So, like I might feel differently about it if I watch it now. Because I guess I've watched the first 2 seasons maybe 2 times through, and everything else I've just seen the once. But it's always stuck with me as like one of my favorite shows of all time. And I'm glad that we finally like just sat down and watched through the new season because it just reaffirmed that, And I think the way they bring in side characters and everything, there's some characters that come back in the reboot that were, relatively minor recurring players, and they do a little bit more with them in 2019. And it's such a good roster. I don't know if Sheriff Lamb was in much of what you saw.
Is he the
Sheriff?
The sheriff who's
Yeah.
like in place because
Yes.
her dad isn't sheriff anymore?
Yeah.
He's there a decent amount.
Okay.
Just kind of being annoying.
Because as that grows and like their antagonism with each other grows, but there's also a little bit of they start to realize that they can use each other, like Veronica and the sheriff. I don't know. It's just and Dick Casablanca's that character. I'm not sure if you saw that either. Like he's the kind blonde surfer energy kind of guy. He is just Ryan Hansen plays that role, and it's just always funny. Like he brings so much to that
Fun.
role. But okay. So do you genuinely think that you will watch?
I genuinely do.
Okay.
Like maybe I'll watch more of it today. We'll see.
Okay. I don't think you'll be disappointed. The first season is certainly the one that stands out the most in my mind. And the third season, for all its faults, does introduce some new characters that I think shouldn't have worked, and yet the chemistry and the writing and what the actors were bringing to it make it so like they feel like characters that should have been there all along. So yeah, hats off. I mean, I love the show. I don't know. I guess I'm satisfied with what exists of it.
That's good.
I could have lived without the 2019 and would have been fine with the 3 seasons in a movie, but I think the 2019 plays like kind of a nice epilogue that you don't really need, but it's a little more time with the characters, Now, this next pick here should be our magic pick, but it has to be a spooky magic pick. So we have compiled things with help from our friend Sally Jacoby Murphy, known colloquially as the Queen of Halloween.
Absolutely.
She sent us some things. We had some things. So I'm just going to draw one.
I'm
Are you
excited.
ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to see what it is.
So, Allie, I know that we both like Veronica Mars, but have we tried Hocus Pocus?
No.
I don't want to watch Hocus Pocus.
Oh, that was the one we were both hoping we would not draw.
Oh, this was a Sally suggestion. My friend Kendra loves this movie. It's one of her favorite movies. Yes, we put this in, and we were both off mic.
Reluctant.
We were like, I hope it's not Hocus Pocus. Everything else in there.
We could pick a second one that's actually fun and do 2.
Oh.
So like one that's like a little punishment.
So we're
and
so
one that's
unhappy with Hocus Pocus that you want to choose the second one? Okay, all right.
I mean, like, I don't know. Let's Halloween it up.
All right, okay.
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 Let's see what we've got.
So, but have we tried?
But have we tried What Lies Beneath?
Ooh.
You had mentioned this one to me before.
That's one of my favorite spooky movies. So, okay. So we'll watch Hocus Pocus, and we will watch What Lies Beneath.
That feels achievable. 2 movies is definitely doable.
One is goofy, one is full-on spook. So.
All right. I'm ready for this.
Okay. Wow. We're really playing fast and loose with these
I
rules.
know.
We
We're
hated that
breaking all
Hocus Pocus so much that
We needed something to lift the
we
mood.
need something to look forward to. Yeah. Okay.
We're going to get canceled for crapping on Hocus.
I know, because it's such a cult classic.
It is.
I can't. You know what?
Maybe we'll love it.
I'm just going to approach it with an open mind, and
maybe it'll be great.
And yeah,
We'll be
I'm
devotees.
genuinely interested now to see what you think of What Lies Beneath.
Yeah, I'm curious too.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So back in 2 weeks to talk about all the things we're reading and watching and doing. Do you think you'll do any Batman things? You won't. Don't lie.
Probably
Don't
not.
lie to the people. Do not lie.
There's a small chance.
Yeah, I saw
it could
you.
happen.
I saw
Anything
the
is
wheels turning.
possible.
You're like, do I tell him what he wants to hear, or do I be truthful? So I appreciate your candor. All right. Well, then I guess that's it. And then we'll be back in a month for our Halloween special where we watch these 2 movies, one bad, one good, and see what we think.
Sounds good. See you then.
Okay. Bye.